Laura, this is Jim. Jim, this is my sister Laura.
Well, I didn't know that Shakespeare had a sister.
How do you do?
Okay.
Excuse me, I haven't finished playing the Victrola.
What was the matter?
Oh, with Laura? Laura is terribly shy.
Oh, shy, huh? It's unusual to meet a shy girl nowadays. I don't believe you ever mentioned you had a sister.
Well, now you know. I have one. This is the Post-Dispatch. You want a piece?
Uh-huh.
What piece? Comics?
Sports. Old Dizzy Dean is on his bad behavior.
Yeah?
Where are you going?
Oh, I'm going out on the terrace.
You know, Shakespeare, I'm going to sell you a bill of goods.
What goods?
Of course I'm taking.
Huh?
In public speaking. You and me, we're not the warehouse type.
Thanks. That's good news. But what has public speaking got to do with it?
It fits you for executive positions.
Ah.
I tell you, it's done a hell of a lot for me.
In what respect?
In every. Ask yourself, what is the difference between you and me and men in the office down front? Brains? No. Ability? No. Then what? It's just one little thing.
What is that one little thing?
Primarily, it amounts to social poise. Being able to square up with people and hold your own on any social level.
Tom?
Yes, Mother.
Is that you, Mr. O'Connor?
Yes, Mother.
Well, you just made yourself comfortable in there.
Yes, Mother.
Ask Mr. O'Connor if he'd like to wash his hands.
No, thank you. I took care of that at the warehouse. Tom,
Yes.
Mr. Mendoza was speaking to me about you.
Favorably?
What do you think?
Well,
You're going to be out of a job if you don't wake up.
I am waking up.
You show no
The
signs.
signs are interior. I'm right at the point of committing myself to a future that doesn't include Mr. Mendoza and the warehouse, or even a night school course in public speaking.
What are you gassing about?
I'm tired of the movies.
Movies.
Yes, movies! All those glamorous people having adventures, hogging it all, gobbling the whole thing up. You know what happens? People go to the movies instead of moving. Hollywood characters are supposed to have all the adventures for everybody in America. Well, everybody in America sits in a dark room and watches them have them. Yes, until there's a war. That's when adventure becomes available to the masses. Everybody's dish, not only Gable's. That's when the people in the dark room come out of the dark room to have some adventure themselves. Goody goody, it's our turn now to go to the South Sea Islands, to make a safari, to be exotic, far off. But I'm not patient. I don't want to wait till then. I'm tired of the movies and I'm about to move.
Move?
Yes,
When?
soon.
Where? Where?
I'm starting to boil inside. I know, I seem dreamy, but inside, well, I'm boiling. Every time I pick up a shoe, I shudder a little, thinking how short life is and what I'm doing with it, whatever that means. I know it doesn't mean shoes, except as something to wear on a traveler's feet. Look,
What?
I'm a member.
The Union of Merchant Seamen?
Paid my dues this month, instead of the lighting bill.
You will regret it when they turn the lights off.
I won't be here.
How about your mother?
I'm more like my father. The bastard son of a bastard. He's been absent going on 16 years.
You're just talking, you tramp. How does your mother feel about it?
Where are you all?
On the terrace, Mother. Here comes Mother. Mother is not acquainted with my plans.
Well, well, well. So this is Mr. O'Connor. Introduction's entirely unnecessary. I've heard so much about you from my boy. I finally said to him, Tom, good gracious, why don't you bring this paragon to supper? I'd like to meet this nice young man at the warehouse instead of just hearing him sing your praises so much. I don't know why my son is so standoffish. That's not southern behavior. Let's sit. I think we could stand a little more air in here. Tom, leave the door open. I felt a nice fresh breeze a minute ago. Where has it gone to? So warm already. Not quite summer even. We're gonna burn up when summer really gets started. However, we're having a very light supper. I think light things are better for this time of year, the same as light clothes are. Light clothes and light food are what warm weather really calls for. You know our blood gets so thick during the winter, it takes a while for us to adjust ourselves when the season changes. It comes so quick this year. I wasn't prepared. All of a sudden, heavens, already summer. But I ran to the trunk and pulled out this light dress. Terribly old, historical almost. But it feels so good. So good and cool, you know?
Mother,
Yes, honey.
how about supper?
Honey, you go ask sister if supper's ready. You know, sister's in full charge of supper. Go tell her you hungry boys are waiting for it. Have you met Laura?
Well, she...
Let you in? Oh, good, you've met already. It's rare for a girl as sweet and pretty as Laura to be domestic. But Laura is, thank heavens, not only pretty, but very domestic. I'm not at all. I never was one bit. I could never make a thing but angel food cake. Well, in the South, we had so many servants. Gone, gone, gone. All vestige of gracious living, gone completely. I wasn't prepared for what the future brought me. All my gentlemen callers were sons of planters, and so, of course, I assumed I would raise my family in a large piece of land with plenty of servants. But man proposes and woman accepts the proposal. To vary that old saying just a little bit. I married no planter. I married a man who worked for the telephone company, that gallantly smiling gentleman over there. A telephone man who fell in love with long distance, and now he travels and I don't even know where. But what am I going on about my tribulations for? Tell me about yours. I hope you don't have any. Tom?
Yes, Mother.
Is supper nearly ready?
Looks to me like supper's on the table.
Oh, let me look. Oh, lovely. But where's sister?
Laura says that she's not feeling well and that she thinks she'd better not come to the table.
What? Nonsense. Laura! Oh, Laura!
Yes, Mother?
Oh, Laura, you must come to the table. We can't be seated until you come to the table. Oh, come in, Mr. O'Connor. You sit here and I'll... Laura! Laura Wingfield, you're keeping us waiting, honey. We can't say grace until you come to the table.
Laura!
Laura! Why, Laura, you are sick, darling. Well, standing over the hot stove made her ill. I told her it was just too warm this evening, but... Is Laura all right now?
Yes.
What is that? Rain? A nice cool rain has come up. I think we may have grace now. Tom, honey, you say grace.
Oh. For these and all thy mercies, God's holy name be praised.
And I said to Louise, your crinoline is stuck in your buckle again. I think that was like the 12th time that week.
Hi there, Mr. Lightbulb.
When was Moses when the lights went out? Do you know the answer to that one, Mr. O'Connor?
No, ma'am. What's the answer?
In the dark. lucky we had them on the table. Which one of you gentlemen can provide a match?
Here, let me.
Why, thank you, sir.
Not at all, ma'am.
I guess the fuse has burned out? Mr. O'Connor, can you tell a burnt out fuse? I know I can't, and Tom is a total loss when it comes to mechanics.
Oh!
Careful, you don't bump into anything. We wouldn't want our gentleman caller to break his neck. Now, would that be a fine hand to do?
Where is the fuse box?
It's right here next to the stove. Can you see anything?
Just a minute.
Isn't electricity a mysterious thing? Wasn't it Benjamin Franklin that tied the key to the kite? Oh, we live in such a mysterious universe, don't we? Some people say that science clears up all the mysteries for us. In my opinion, it only creates more. Have you found it yet?
No, ma'am. Everything looks okay to me.
Tom?
Yes, Mother?
That light bill I gave you several days ago? The one I told you we got the notices about?
Oh! Yeah!
You didn't neglect to pay it by any chance?
Why, I...
Didn't! Oh, I might have known it.
I bet Shakespeare wrote a poem on that light bill, Mrs. Wingfield.
I might have known better than to trust the wicked. There's such a high price for negligence in this world.
Maybe the poem will win a $10 prize.
Well, we'll just have to spend the remainder of the evening in the 19th century, before Mr. Edison made the master lamp.
Candlelight is my favorite kind of light.
That shows you're romantic. But that's no excuse for Tom. Well, they let us get through dinner. Very considerate of them to let us get through dinner before plunging us into everlasting darkness, wasn't it, Mr. O'Connor? Tom, as a penalty for your carelessness, you can help with the dishes.
Well, let me give you a hand.
Indeed you will not.
I ought to be good for something.
Good for something. You? Why, Mr. O'Connor, nobody's given me this much entertainment in years as you have.
Oh, now, Mrs. Wingfield.
I'm not exaggerating, not one bit. But sister is all by her lonesome. You go keep her company in the parlor. I'll give you this lovely old candelabrum that used to be on the altar at the Church of the Heavenly Rest. It was melted a little out of shape when the church burned down. Lightning struck it one spring. Gypsy Jones was holding a revival at the time, and he intimated that the church was destroyed because the Episcopalians gave card parties. And how about you coax and sister to drink a little wine? I think it'd be good for her. Can you carry both at once?
Sure, I'm Superman. Yeah.
Now, Thomas, get into this apron.
Hello there, Laura.
Hello.
How are you feeling now? Better?
Yes, thank you.
Well, this is for you. A little dandelion wine.
Thank you.
Drink it, but don't get drunk. Where shall I set the candles?
Oh. Anywhere.
How about here on the floor? Any objections?
No.
I'll spread a newspaper under to catch the drippings. I like to sit on the floor. Mind if I do?
Oh. No.
Give me a pillow.
What?
A pillow. How about you? Don't you like to sit on the floor?
Yes.
Why don't you then?
I will.
Oh, take a pillow. I can't hardly see you sitting way over there.
can see you.
I know, but that's not fair. I'm in the limelight. Good. Now I can see you. Comfortable? So am I. Comfortable as a cow. We have some gum.
No, thank you.
Well, I think I will indulge with your permission. Think of the fortune made by the guy that invented the first piece of chewing gum. It's amazing, huh? The Wrigley Building is one of the sights of Chicago. I saw it summer before last when I went up to the Century of Progress. Did you take in the Century of Progress?
No, I didn't.
Well, it was quite a wonderful exposition. What impressed me most was the Hall of Science. It gives you an idea of what the future will be in America. Even more wonderful than the present time is. Your brother tells me that you're shy. Is that right, Laura?
I don't know.
I judge you to be an old-fashioned type of girl. Well, I think that's a pretty good type to be. Hope you don't think I'm being too personal. Do you?
I believe I will take a piece of gum if you don't mind.
Huh.
Mr. O'Connor, have you kept up with your singing?
Singing? Me?
Yes. I remember what a beautiful voice you had.
You've heard me sing?
Yes, very often. I don't suppose you remember me at all.
You know, I have an idea I've seen you somewhere before. I had that idea as soon as you opened the door. It seemed almost like I was about to remember your name, but the name I was going to say wasn't a name. So I stopped myself before I said it.
Wasn't it Blue Roses?
Blue Roses. My gosh, yes, Blue Roses! That's what I had on my tongue when you opened the door. Isn't it funny what tricks your memory plays? I didn't connect you with high school somehow or other. That's where it was high school. I didn't even know you were Shakespeare's sister. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry.
I didn't expect you to. You barely knew me.
But we did have a speaking acquaintance, huh?
Yes, we spoke to each other.
When did you recognize me?
Oh, right away.
As soon as I came in the door?
When I heard your name, I thought it was probably you. I knew that Tom knew you were little in high school, so when you came in the door, well, then I was sure.
Why didn't you say something then?
I didn't know what to say. I was too surprised.
Gosh, you know, this sure is funny.
Yes, isn't it though?
Didn't we have a class in something together?
Yes, we did.
What class was that?
It was singing, chorus.
Oh,
I sat across the aisle from you in the aisle.
oh,
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
how I remember. You always came in late.
Yes. It was so hard for me getting upstairs. I had that brace on my leg. It clumped so loud.
Well, I never heard any clumping.
To me, it sounded like thunder.
Well, I never even noticed.
And everybody was seated before I came in. I had to walk in front of all those people. My seat was in the back row. I had to go clumping all the way up the aisle with everyone watching.
You shouldn't have been self-conscious.
I know, but I was. It was such a relief when the singing started.
Ah, yes, I've placed you now. I used to call you Blue Roses. How was it that I got started calling you that again?
I was out of school a little while with pleurosis. And when I came back, you asked me what was the matter. I said I had pleurosis. You thought I said blue roses. That's what you always called me after that.
I hope you didn't mind.
Oh no, I liked it. You see, I wasn't acquainted with many people.
As I remember, you sort of stuck by yourself.
I never had much luck at making friends.
I don't see why you wouldn't.
Well, I started out badly.
You mean being...
Yes. It sort of stood between me.
Well, you shouldn't have led.
I know, but it did. And
You were shy with people?
yes, I never could.
Overcome it?
No.
I guess being shy is something you have to work out of kind of gradually, huh?
Yes, I guess.
It takes time.
Yes.
People are not so dreadful when you know them. That's what you have to remember. And practically everybody has problems. Not just you, but practically everybody has got some problems. You think of yourself as having the only problems, as being the only one who's disappointed. Just look around you. You'll see lots of people as disappointed as you are. Well, for instance, when I was going to high school, I thought I'd be further along at this time, 6 years later than I am now. You remember that wonderful write-up I had in the Torch?
Yes.
It said I would succeed in anything I went into. Well, holy jeez! The Torch!
There you are in the Pirates of Penzance.
I sang the baritone lead in that operetta.
So beautifully.
Ah,
Yes, yes, beautifully, beautifully.
you heard me?
All 3 times.
No.
Yes.
All 3 performances?
Yes.
Why?
I wanted to ask you to autograph my program.
Why didn't you ask me to?
You were always surrounded by your own friends so much that I never had a chance to.
You should have just, you know,
Well, I thought you might think I was...
thought I might think you was what?
Oh.
I was beleaguered by females in those days.
You were terribly popular.
Yeah.
You had such a friendly way.
I was spoiled in high school.
Everybody liked you.
Including you?
Yes, I did too.
Well, well, well. Give me that program, Laura. There you are. Better late than never.
What a surprise.
My signature's not worth very much right now, but someday maybe it will increase in value. Being disappointed is one thing, and being discouraged is another. I'm disappointed. I'm not discouraged. I'm 23 years old. How old are you?
I'll be 24 in June.
Well, that's not old age.
No, but
You finished high school?
I never went back.
You mean you dropped out?
I made bad grades in my final examinations. How is Emily Meisenbach getting along?
Oh, that crowdhead?
Why do you call her that?
That's what she was.
You're not still going with her?
I've never seen her.
You said in the personal section that you were engaged.
I know, but I wasn't impressed by that propaganda.
It wasn't the truth.
Only in Emily's optimistic opinion.
Oh.
What have you done since high school? Huh? I said, what have you done since high school, Laura?
Nothing much.
You must have been doing something these 6 long years.
Yes.
Well then, such as what?
Well, I took a business course at business college.
How'd that go?
Well, not very well. It gave me indigestion.
Well, how about now? What are you doing now?
I don't do anything much. Oh, please don't think I sit around doing nothing. My glass collection takes up a good deal of time. Glass is something you have to take good care of.
What did you say about glass?
Collection? I said I have one.
You know what I judge to be the trouble with you? inferiority complex. You know what that is? That's what they call it when someone low rates himself. I understand it because I had it too, although my case was not so aggravated as yours seems to be. I had it until I took up public speaking, developed my voice, and learned that I had an aptitude for science. Before that time, I never thought of myself as being outstanding in any way whatsoever. Now, I've never made a regular study of it, Laura, but I have a friend that tells me I can analyze people better than doctors who make a profession of it. I don't claim that to be necessarily true, but I can sure guess a person's psychology. Excuse me, Laura. I always take it out when the flavor's gone. I'll use this scrap of paper to wrap it in. I know how it is to get it stuck on a shoe. Yep, that's what I judge to be your principal trouble. A lack of confidence in yourself as a person. You don't have the proper amount of faith in yourself. Now I'm basing that fact on a number of your remarks and also on certain observations I've made. For instance, that clumping you thought was so awful in high school. You say you even dreaded to walk into class because of it. See what you did? You gave up an education. You dropped out of school because of a clump, which as far as I know is practically non-existent. A little physical defect is what you have, hardly noticeable even, magnified thousands of times by imagination. You know what my strong advice to you is? Think of yourself as superior in some way.
In what way would I think?
My man alive, Laura. Just look about you a little. What do you see? A world full of common people. All of them born, all of them going to die. Which of them has 1/10 of your good points? Or mine? Or anyone else's as far as that goes. Gosh, everyone excels at some one thing, some at many. Well, take me for instance. My interest happens to lie in electrodynamics. I'm taking a course in radio engineering at night school, Laura, on top of a fairly responsible position at the warehouse. I'm taking that course and studying public speaking.
Oh.
Because I believe in the future of television. I wish to be ready to go up right along with it. Therefore, I plan to get in on the ground floor. In fact, I've already made the right connections. All that's left is for the industry to get underway. Full steam. Knowledge. Zip. Money. Zip. Power. That's the cycle democracy is built on. I guess you think I think a lot of myself, huh?
No. Oh,
Now, how about you? Isn't there something that you care more about than anything else?
well, I do, as I said, have my glass collection.
I'm not right sure I know what you mean. What kind of glass is it?
Little articles of it. They're ornaments mostly. Most of them are little animals made of glass. Mother calls them a glass menagerie. Here's an example of one if you'd like to see it. This is one of the oldest. It's nearly 13.
Oh.
Be careful.
Yeah.
If you breathe, it breaks.
I'd better not take it. I'm pretty clumsy with things.
Go on, I trust you with it. There now. You're holding him gently. Hold him up to the lad. He loves the lad. See how the light shines through him?
It sure does shine.
I shouldn't be partial, but he is my favorite one.
Well, what sort of a thing is this one anyway?
Haven't you noticed the single horn on his forehead?
A unicorn, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Unicorns. Aren't they extinct in the modern world?
I know.
Poor little fella. He must feel sort of lonesome.
Well, if he does, he doesn't complain about it. He stays on a shelf with some horses that don't have horns, and all of them seem to get along nicely together.
How do you know?
I haven't heard any arguments amongst them.
No arguments, huh? Well, that's a pretty good sign. Where shall I set it?
Put him over there. They all like a change of scenery once in a while.
how big my shadow is.
Oh, yes, it stretches across the ceiling.
I think it stopped raining. Where does the music come from?
From the Paradise Dance Hall across the alley.
How about cutting the rug a little, Miss Wingfield?
Oh.
Or is your program all filled up? Let me have a look. Why, every dance is taken. I'll just have to scratch some out. A waltz.
I can't dance.
There you go with that inferiority stuff.
I've never danced in my life.
Come on, try.
I'd step on you.
I'm not made of glass.
How do we start?
Just leave it to me. You hold your arm out a little.
Like this?
Oh, a little bit higher. Right. Now, don't tighten up. That's the main thing about it. Relax.
It's hard not to.
Okay.
I'm afraid you can't budge.
What do you bet I can't?
Yes, you can.
Well, just let yourself go now, Laura. Let yourself go.
I'm
Oh,
trying.
not so stiff. Easy does it.
I know, but I'm...
Loosen the backbone. There now. That's a lot better.
Am I?
Lots better.
Oh my. Oh my goodness.
What did we hit on?
Table.
Did something fall off it, I think?
Yes.
Oh, I hope it wasn't the little glass horse with the horn.
Yes.
Is it broken?
No, just like all the other horses.
It's lost its
Horn. It doesn't matter. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
You'll never forgive me. I bet that was your favorite piece of glass.
I don't know favorites much. It's no tragedy, Freckles. Glass breaks so easily, no matter how careful you are. Traffic jars the shelves and things fall off.
Still, I'm awfully sorry that I was the cause.
I'll just pretend he had an operation. The horn was removed to make him feel less freakish. Now he will feel more at home with the other horses.
That's very funny. I'm glad to see you have a sense of humor. You know, you're very different from anyone else I know. Surprisingly different. Do you mind me telling you that, Laura? I mean it in a nice way. You make me feel sort of... I don't know how to put it. I'm usually pretty good at expressing things, but this is something I don't know how to say. Has anyone ever told you that you were pretty? Well, you are. And in a very different way from anyone else. And all the nicer because of the difference, too. I wish that you were my sister. I'd teach you to have some confidence in yourself. Different people are not like other people, but being different is nothing to be ashamed of. Because other people are not such wonderful people. They're 100 times 1,000. You're 1 times 1. They walk all over the earth. You just stay here. You're common as weeds. But you're blue roses.
But blue is wrong for roses.
It's right for you. You're pretty.
In what respect am I pretty?
In all respects, believe me. Your eyes, your hair are pretty. Your hands are pretty. Oh, You think I'm just making this up because I'm invited to dinner and have to be nice. I could do that. I could put on an act for you, Laura, and say a lot of things without being very sincere. This time I am speaking to you sincerely. I noticed you had that inferiority complex that keeps you from feeling comfortable around people. Someone needs to build your confidence up and make you proud instead of shy and turning away and blushing. And somebody ought to kiss you, Laura. Stumble John. Stumble John, I shouldn't have done that. That was way off the beat. You don't smoke, do you? Care for a mint, peppermint lifesaver? My pocket's a regular drugstore wherever I go. Laura, you know, if you were my sister, I'd do the same things, Tom. I'd bring out fellows and introduce her to them. The right type of boys, of a type to appreciate her. Only, well, he made a mistake about me. Maybe I've got no call to be saying this. That may not have been the idea in having me over. But what if it was? There's nothing wrong about that. And the trouble is that in my case, I'm not in a situation to do the right thing. I can't take down your number and say I'll phone. I can't call up next week and ask for a date. I thought I'd better explain myself in case you misunderstood it and hurt your feelings.
You won't call again?
No, Laura, I can't. As I was just explaining, I've got strings on me. Laura, I've been going steady. I go out all the time with a girl named Betty. She's a home girl like you, and Catholic, and Irish, and in a great many ways we get along fine. I met her last summer on a moonlight boat trip up the river to Alton. Right away from the start, it was love. Being in love has made a new man of me, Laura. And the power of love is really pretty tremendous. Love is something that changes the whole world. It happened that Betty's aunt took sick, and she got a wire and had to go to Centralia. So when Tom asked me to dinner, I naturally just accepted the invitation, not knowing that gosh, I'm a stumble John. I wish that you would say something. What are you doing that for? You want me to have him? The unicorn? What for?
A souvenir.
Well, well, well! Isn't the air just delightful after the shower? I made you children a little liquid refreshment. Jim, have you heard that song about lemonade? Lemonade, lemonade, made in the shade and stirred with a spade, good enough for any old maid.
No, I never heard it.
Why, Laura, you look so serious.
We were having a serious conversation.
Good, now you're better acquainted.
Yes.
You modern young folks are much more serious-minded than my generation. I was so gay as a girl.
You haven't changed, Mrs. Wingfield.
Well, tonight I'm rejuvenated. The gaiety of the occasion, Mr. O'Connor. Oh, I'm baptizing myself.
Here, let me.
Oh, there now. I discovered we had some maraschino cherries. I dumped them in, juice and all.
Well, you shouldn't have gone to the trouble.
Trouble? Trouble? Why, it was loads of fun. Didn't you hear me cutting up in the kitchen? I bet your ears were burning. I told Tom how done I was with him for keeping you to himself for so long a time. Well, now that you're here, we want you to be a very frequent caller. Not just occasional, but all the time. Oh, we're gonna have a lot of gay times together. I see them coming. Just breathe that air, so fresh. And the moon so pretty. Well, I'll just get back out now. I know where my place is when young folks are having a serious conversation.
Oh, don't go out, Mrs. Wingfield. The fact of the matter is, I've got to be going.
Going? Now? You must be joking. Why, it's only the shank of the evening, Mr. O'Connor.
Well, you know how it is.
You mean you're a young working man and have to keep working men's hours? Well, we'll let you off early tonight, but only on the condition that next time you stay later. What's the best night for you? Isn't Saturday night the best night for you working men?
I have a couple of town clocks to punch, Mrs. Wingfield. One at morning, another one at night.
Oh my, you are ambitious. You work at night too?
No, ma'am, not work, but Betty.
Betty? Betty? Who's Betty?
Oh, just a girl. The girl that I go steady with.
Oh. Is it a very serious romance, Mr. O'Connor?
We're going to be married the second Sunday in June.
Oh. How nice. Tom didn't mention you were engaged to be married.
Well, the cat's not out of the bag at the warehouse yet. You know how they are, they call you Romeo and stuff like that. It's been a wonderful evening, Mrs. Wingfield. I guess this is what they mean by Southern hospitality.
Really wasn't anything at all.
I hope it don't seem like I'm rushing off, but I promised Betty I'd pick her up at the Wabash Depot, and by the time I get my jalopy down there, her train will be in. Some women are pretty upset if you keep them waiting.
Yes, I know the tyranny of women. Well, goodbye, Mr. O'Connor. I wish you luck and happiness and success, all three. And so does Laura. Don't you, Laura?
Yes. Goodbye, Laura. I'm certainly going to treasure that souvenir. And don't forget the good advice I gave you. So long, Shakespeare! Thanks again, ladies. Good night.
Things have a way of turning out so badly. I don't believe I would play the controller. Well. Our gentleman caller was engaged to be married. Tom,
Yes, Mother?
come in here a minute. I have to tell you something awfully funny.
Has the gentleman caller gotten away already?
The gentleman caller has made an early departure. What a wonderful joke you played on us.
How do you mean?
You didn't mention he was engaged to be married.
Jim. Engaged.
That's what he just informed us.
Well, I'll be jiggered. I didn't know about that.
That seems very peculiar.
What's peculiar about it?
Didn't you say he was your best friend out at the warehouse?
He is, but how did I know?
Seems extremely peculiar you wouldn't know your best friend was going to be married.
The warehouse is where I work, not where I know things about people.
You don't know things anywhere. You live in a dream. You manufacture illusions. Where are you going?
I'm going to the movies.
Oh, that's right. Now that you've had us make such fools of ourselves, the effort, the preparations, all the expense, the new floor lamp, the rug, the clothes for Laura, all for what? To entertain some other girl's fiancé? Go to the movies, go. Don't think about us, a mother, deserted and unmarried sister who's crippled and has no job. Don't let anything interfere with your selfish pleasure. Just go to the movies.
All right, then I will. The more you shout at me about my selfishness, the quicker I'll go. And I won't go to the movies.
So then go to the moon, you selfish dreamer.
I didn't go to the moon. I went much further. For time is the longest distance between two places. And not long after that, I was fired for writing a poem on the lid of a shoebox. I left St. Louis. I descended the steps of this fire escape for a last time, and followed from then on in my father's footsteps, attempting to find in motion what was lost in space. I traveled around a great deal. The cities swept about me like dead leaves. Leaves that were brightly colored, but torn from the branches. I would have stopped, but I was pursued by something. It always came upon me unawares, taking me altogether by surprise. Perhaps it was a familiar bit of music. Perhaps it was only a piece of transparent glass. Perhaps I'm walking along the street at night in some strange city before I have found companions. I pass the lighted window of a shop where perfume is sold, and the window is filled with pieces of colored glass, tiny, delicate bottles, delicate colors like bits of a shattered rainbow. Then all at once, my sister touches my shoulder. I turn around and look into her eyes. Oh, Laura. Oh. Laura, I tried to leave you behind me, but I am more faithful than I intended to be. I reach for a cigarette. I cross the street. I run into the nearest movies or a bar. I buy a drink. I talk to the nearest stranger. Anything to blow your candles out. For nowadays, the world is lit by lightning. Blow out your candles, Laura. And so, goodbye.